Hello everyone and welcome to Fantasy Booking, where I take an angle from today to the future and see how I would do it, how I would book the show, the character and the feuds surrounding the character, other feuds that might get in the way of said character and said characters, feuds and stories, and an ultimate goal of where to go with the said character or said feud or said wrestler, and in general make the product better and increase viewership, which is the ultimate goal of any wrestling promoter and any wrestling promotion. So today we are going to talk about Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. Now, if you look at the Fiend's history or Bray Wyatt's history, Bray Wyatt was everything that the Fiend isn't now. Bray Wyatt was predictable, Bray Wyatt was boring, Bray Wyatt was mistreated, misbooked, and he was a talent that was misused. He was talented, but he always had the same booking. He comes out, end of a pay-per-view, end of a Raw, end of a SmackDown, no matter. He comes out, attacks somebody, we go to the pay-per-view, he loses. Maybe they have a second match. Bray wins by escaping a cage. He doesn't pin. Or maybe he pins, but he pins because the lights go out. And then they have a third match and he loses again. Something like that. And then he starts the next feud and he loses the feud. And the Fiend is the complete opposite. The Fiend is interesting. The Fiend is a completely unique character. There's no one else in the WWE or in wrestling today like the Fiend, or at least with the popularity and the potential that the Fiend has to be a major success in professional wrestling, in this case in WWE, Bray Wyatt's employer. So today we'll see how I would book the Fiend, how I would make the Fiend Bray Wyatt, because, spoiler, the ultimate goal is to make Bray Wyatt and not the Fiend a success, because the Fiend is already going to be the Fiend is already there. The Fiend is special. The Fiend is a big attraction. If Bray Wyatt all of a sudden came out and wrestled tomorrow, would he be a star? Would he be special? Would he be a special attraction that would make you tune in to the show, weekly show, pay-per-view, be that what it is, and make you want to tune in and not miss it like it's Christmas? I'm not sure. That is my goal. Let's see how I would do it. Please watch this video. Leave a like down below, or a dislike if you don't like the video. Comment about what do you think about my booking. Leave a subscription if you haven't yet, and share it with your friends. Okay, so on to the booking. Well, first of all, I'm recording this video on November 19th, so Survivor Series hasn't happened yet. There's still a SmackDown episode before Survivor Series at the time I'm speaking. So maybe when you're watching this, because I'll publish this video after Survivor Series, maybe the Fiend is no longer the Universal Champion. Maybe. What about it? Did it happen? Is Bray Wyatt still the Universal Champion? Did he beat Daniel Bryan? Amazing! Or bollocks, whatever the case, I really don't know at this point. But I will assume Bray Wyatt retained the Universal Championship because it makes sense. I will start the booking before Survivor Series because there is an opportunity to do something special, because Daniel Bryan is one of the perfect guys to do that with and introduce a new persona, a new gimmick, call it whatever you want, for Bray Wyatt, and I will do that today. Maybe they have already, there's still an episode of SmackDown left. Again, I'm recording this before, but I don't know, so I'm assuming they didn't do that. So on SmackDown we have a promo between Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. Again, Bray Wyatt does not appear physically. He only appears in the Firefly Funhouse, and he is a unique character. Second of all, the goal of this booking is to make the Fiend special, make the Fiend a reason to tune in every week to tune in to the pay-per-views, to buy the network, and to make you wanna watch it. Is it today that The Fiend will appear? Will The Fiend appear today? Will it be Bray Wyatt? Will it be someone else? Will it be... We don't know. Is it The Fiend? We don't know. We gotta tune in to watch, because he appears only in special moments, when the moment is right, not because it's the time of the year it happens, even though we will have to keep it somewhat real. And Saudi Arabia, good money, The Fiend has to be there. WrestleMania, he probably has to be there, but otherwise we won't have him appear just because it's September or it's October and it's Hell in a Cell time. He will appear because there is a reason for him to appear. So we have a promo between Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan. This is SmackDown before Survivor Series. And Daniel Bryan cuts a promo and he basically mentions The Fiend. He's all fired up and he says, "Fiend, I will kick your ass. I will do this, either if it's you or it's him, I don't care." It cuts to Bray Wyatt. He's doing that maniacal laugh. And he says, "You know something, Bryan?" That Bray Wyatt voice that I won't even try to imitate. It's really unique. "You know something, Bryan? You are special." And he starts laughing, and the kids are laughing in the background, and all that stuff. And he says, "You're special because he actually doesn't have any problems with you. He always talks in the third person. That is a part of what makes him unique from now on." So he starts speaking in the third person, and he says he has no problem with you. With you, and so far only with you, he actually knows somebody who wants to kick your ass more than he does. And he starts laughing, and the weird, creepy music starts playing, and then it cuts off. Firefly music is playing. He's all smiling. "See you next week, Bryan. See you at Survivor Series," whatever. We end the show. So, what we established here is we don't know if it's gonna be The Fiend. If it's just then Bray Wyatt playing mind games. Is he just playing mind games? Is he really talking about The Fiend when he says he? Who is he talking about when he says he? Is he talking about The Fiend? Is he talking about Bray Wyatt? Is he talking about Sister Abigail's father? Is he talking about Eric Rowan? We don't know, because he's unique. So, at Survivor Series, Daniel Bryan comes out. He still doesn't do the yes, because that's currently the storyline. He's sort of a tweener at this point. And the Fiend music starts playing, cuts off. The old Bray Wyatt music starts playing. We do all the lights go down, let him in, and all that stuff, but then Bray Wyatt comes down to the ring. It's not The Fiend, it's Bray Wyatt. Why? Because Bray Wyatt has more history with Daniel Bryan than The Fiend. And Bray Wyatt comes down, he wrestles a match with Daniel Bryan, and since this yes storyline is really the thing going on around here. Remember, the yes thing back in 2014 really exploded when Daniel Bryan joined the Wyatt family, and people started looking at the storyline like Bryan was getting pushed back into the mid-card. He left the feud with Randy Orton to go into the Wyatt family, and the Wyatt family were sort of an upper mid-carder / mid-carder act, and the people exploded and they wanted Bryan in the main event. So there's a reason for Bray Wyatt to bring Bray Wyatt and not The Fiend into this match. Bray comes down and Bray Wyatt wins. No shenanigans, no low blows, no lights go out, no magic thing happens. Just Bray Wyatt is the better man. Maybe play some mind games with the yes. Maybe have Bray Wyatt give him a look, like an intimidating look. Play the mind games, but don't go all crazy. Don't have kids singing in the background and all that crazy Vince McMahon stuff. Those McMahonisms that he likes to add to the product. Just Bray Wyatt wins. And Daniel Bryan then goes on to do his stuff. he continues the program. He has a program going on with Sami Zayn. He has, those plates spinning with Sami Zayn and Nakamura, as well as the Miz. He can continue the storyline that we continue to incorporate into this match with Bray Wyatt, and he takes it to those feuds or to other stories with either Zayn and Nakamura or the Miz. Then we need a new opponent for Bray Wyatt, and that new opponent is Roman Reigns, the top guy in the WWE. And this is a moment where we need to have some reality here. This is a fantasy booking, but we need to keep it somewhat real. If there's one thing WWE will not do, is have Roman Reigns lose just because. So we're not gonna just have him come here and lose a match to The Fiend or Bray Wyatt and go back to what he was doing. No. Roman Reigns is special. That's how they present him. That's how I will present him. I will give Roman Reigns an excuse for losing and put Bray Wyatt over at the same time. So, TLC, WWE typical booking, there will be a TLC match for the Universal Championship because that's what happens. Bray Wyatt is the Universal Champion, so he's automatically in a TLC match. That's not how I would do it, but that's how it is. We need to get out of here. So, again, we have the same promos between Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Mind Games. Roman Reigns becomes the #1 contender by winning some kind of match on SmackDown, and then the Fiend strikes. He comes out, Mandible Claw. What is he doing here? Mandible Claw? Does Fiend have a problem with Roman Reigns? He didn't have with Daniel Bryan, apparently. What the hell did Roman Reigns do to the Fiend? The Fiend comes out, he strikes, because that's what he does. He's unpredictable. And during the next few weeks, heading into TLC, Bray Wyatt plays mind games with Roman. All that creepy talk and the Firefly Funhouse. Is it going to be The Fiend? Is it going to be Bray Wyatt? Who's it going to be? At TLC, again, because we want to make The Fiend special, everybody's like, okay, so The Fiend now appears. Okay, The Fiend didn't appear at Survivor Series. They're not going to make him not appear again. I mean, that's stupid. The Fiend doesn't appear. That makes it more unpredictable. Bray Wyatt comes down and he faces Roman Reigns in a TLC match. But Bray Wyatt is going to have to win. So again, we don't do a cheap lights go out finish. We don't have any music playing. We certainly do not want any higher power elevating the championship a la Vince McMahon versus Steve Austin, because that's dumb shit. Instead, again, we have the mind games. We put Bray Wyatt over as special. We have Roman Reigns is sort of Roman Reigns is up there, about to win, and maybe something, maybe you want to have Bray win in a heelish but not cheap way, and that's how Bray Wyatt wins. Roman Reigns is about to win, we have that, and Bray Wyatt retains the Universal Championship. But on the next SmackDown, again, just like when Roman became the #1 contender, on the next SmackDown, The Fiend comes down again, and he attacks Roman Reigns' mandible claw because Roman gave a big fight to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt got pissed, he unleashes The Fiend on Roman Reigns. So, maybe Roman doesn't appear the next week, he sells the injury, he sells the attack by The Fiend, because, again, we want to make The Fiend special, and how make him more special than have almighty Roman Reigns sell an injury? Roman Reigns comes out. We need to book him like a babyface. He comes out. He brings The Fiend in Bray Wyatt. He looks at the Firefly Funhouse when Bray's cutting a promo. He interrupts him. He says, "I'm sick of this crap. I want to face The Fiend. You want to come out here and bring The Fiend to me and then appear as Bray Wyatt and play mind games with me? You know what? I'm gonna play the best game I can play, and that is my fist up your mouth. So bring The Fiend, and I'm gonna kick your little butt." We have Roman Reigns do these sort of promos, and Bray Wyatt gives him that sick little smile, and he cuts a promo like, you're gonna get it, or something like that, or be careful what you wish for, and he laughs, and then, see you at the Royal Rumble. We have a match at the Royal Rumble. It's the Fiend this time. It's Roman Reigns versus the Fiend. Before that, however, he cuts the same promo he cut on Daniel Bryan before. He says, I unleashed the Fiend on you because you pushed me to the limit. You pushed me to the limit. And he didn't like it. He was offended by it. He was offended by the fact that you took me to my limit and almost won my title. Something like that. And he says, he has no problem with you. I want to kick your ass and make sure I am better than you. And this time, you will not take me to my limit. So again, we make it feel like it's going to be Bray Wyatt. This time, it's the Fiend. The Fiend comes out. He faces Roman Reigns. I said in the beginning, you want to make the Fiend a special attraction and only have him appear in special moments. It's Roman Reigns. It really doesn't get more special than a match with Roman Reigns. When Brock Lesnar's the champion and he's not around, Roman Reigns is the title. Let's just put it that way. So we have Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, or the Fiend, this time at the Royal Rumble. And Bray Wyatt, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, wins clean. He wins clean this time, no interference. Bray Wyatt, the person, needed interference. Needed mind games, not interference. He needed mind games to beat Roman Reigns at TLC. The Fiend doesn't. He comes out, does his no-sell stuff, beats Roman Reigns. Meanwhile, the commentators can put over Roman Reigns by saying he wasn't ready for who was going to appear. He didn't know if it was going to be the Fiend or Bray Wyatt or whatever the hell. So Roman Reigns was at a psychological disadvantage and he lost. There's no problem in losing. He brought a big game to the Fiend and he still kicked ass. And Roman Empire, we put him over that way. Heading into WrestleMania, the next night, or the next SmackDown, we have none other than The Undertaker come out. The Undertaker comes out. We have the Fiend come down. The Fiend mandible claws Undertaker. Undertaker appears because of something. Let's celebrate SmackDown old school. Let's bring the Brothers of Destruction back together. Let's give them some reason. That will pump up some ratings and gives us a reason to have the Fiend come down. Gets the mandible claw on the Undertaker while he's cutting a promo or something in the ring, and the show goes off the air. That writes Undertaker off TV. He's pretty much written off TV anyway, but that gives a reason for the Undertaker to stay off, and we get Fastlane out of the way, which is the pay-per-view that's sort of there and nothing happens there. But what we do want to do this year is make it special. Fiend is going to retain / Bray Wyatt, but we want to make it special. This time, who should come out but Kofi Kingston? Kofi Kingston. What's the storyline here? What the hell, Kofi Kingston? That's out of nowhere. It's basic. It's really simple. Kofi Kingston wants Kofi Mania 2 to be a thing. He wants to go to WrestleMania. It's real. It happened. Let's bring it to the story. He wants to be a champion again. He comes out. Someone motivates him in a promo. There's a battle royal to qualify the number one contender or a gauntlet match. Let's do it again. It happened once. Let's do it again. He wins a gauntlet match again. And he goes to Fastlane with a chance to have Kofi Mania 2 be a thing again, where he can have a title match and win again. This won't be that big of a deal. We can promote that way so it adds drama to it, but it's really a filler match because it's Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker is penciled in for WrestleMania, and we already started telling that story. So we go in a fast lane. The Fiend doesn't appear. Bray Wyatt does. Bray Wyatt wins clean. Bray Wyatt pins Kofi Kingston. And on the next SmackDown, but we do give Kofi Kingston some fight. And on the next SmackDown, Bray Wyatt is offended because, again, Kofi Kingston gave him a trouble in paradise and opened cut his lip open or did something. Let's put other guys over. And Bray Wyatt is offended. He's a little bit pissed off. The Fiend comes down, the New Day are having a tag team title match or something. Mandible Claws, Kofi Kingston, disqualification. The New Day are not the tag team champions because of the Fiend. He does a brutal attack. Every member of the New Day is gone. Like, they're written off TV. Or maybe do that in the future, in another segment where Bray Wyatt is feuding with someone else after WrestleMania, because the New Day appearing at WrestleMania is good for business because they sell a lot of merchandise. So after WrestleMania, we keep some others' plates spinning, and Bray Wyatt comes out, he injures the New Day, takes them out. The Fiend does, but at Fastlane he beats Kofi as Bray Wyatt. On SmackDown after Fastlane, again, he tries to attack Kofi Kingston or the New Day, costs them a tag match, just like I was saying, but as the Fiend is in the ring and the lights are on and there's that creepy little music playing, all of a sudden we hear this. That's right. The Undertaker is right behind the Fiend, and we have that epic confrontation. We have the Fiend versus the Undertaker. No one attacks. Undertaker does the throat little thing. Bray Wyatt does whatever he does. He laughs or just opens his arms and gets on his knees or something like that. Or maybe does the Undertaker's zombie throat thing as well. And that's our WrestleMania match. Bray Wyatt / The Fiend, will it be, versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Again, we go to WrestleMania without knowing who will appear. At WrestleMania, The Fiend appears, he wrestles The Undertaker, and in this match, we put over The Fiend as the strongest, as the strongest unique character, strange character, destroyer character in WWE. The Fiend beats The Undertaker. Undertaker maybe gives him a tombstone or something like that, but we have The Undertaker sell like he's surprised. Sell like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Rolling his eyes to the back of his head. Selling the Fiend the entire match. In the end, the Fiend. Mandible Claw is a bit of a cheap move against The Undertaker, but Sister Abigail, maybe Tombstone, he beats The Undertaker with a Tombstone, something like that, because we want to keep the Undertaker storyline going. So a Tombstone, that's a good finish actually. Tombstone, 1, 2, 3. The Fiend is the top, strange, call it whatever you want, character in the WWE. The Fiend is a nightmare, and at this point, from now on, we are going to present The Fiend as the nightmare of WWE. And a few months later, we will have Bray Wyatt turn face. One more thing. After WrestleMania, where the Fiend beats The Undertaker and becomes the top special character in WWE, there will be a slight change. Just a slight change in The Fiend and Bray Wyatt's gear, and as well as the Firefly Funhouse in the background. Again, just a slight change, but fans noticed slight changes, and they're not dumb, they know what's going on. So that slight change is just a number. It's not the number of guys he took down. This is not Goldberg. This is not WCW. It's something special. That number is 30, and that will come to play later. And for the next few months, Bray Wyatt has the number 30 written on in his gear, the Fiend, and in the Firefly Funhouse. That's all. No other changes, just 30. With that said though, let's not get ahead of ourselves. WrestleMania has just happened. The Fiend beat The Undertaker, and this time, The Fiend comes out. He has unfinished business with Kofi Kingston. The Undertaker stopped his attack on Kofi Kingston the prior month. He has unfinished business. So the following SmackDown, finally, The Fiend comes down. The New Day are having a tag team title rematch, or a match, whatever, doesn't matter. The Fiend comes down. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna finish what I started. And he comes down. He takes all of New Day out. He comes down, beats up Kofi. He comes down. Then Xavier tries to help. Xavier goes flying, and maybe bumps through a table or through the barricade, and then Big E tries to save, and we get a tease there. Maybe. Will that be a match for the future? Who knows? The Fiend takes him out as well. Big E starts making sort of a comeback. The Fiend doesn't sell. The Fiend gets up, Mandible Claw, or something, and they are all injured. The New Day are off television, and that's a good thing, because the New Day have been on for years, and so we maybe some time off is a good thing, and when they come back, maybe they are special again, or we break them up. And when they come back, we really hit that breath of fresh air button, and they are all different. They are all new. What's the plan? We don't know. But I can tell you the Fiend is going to be a major part of that. So, with that said, at this time, we need some fresh opponents because Bray Wyatt has been the champion for quite some time. He beat The Undertaker. Where do you go from here? Really nowhere? Actually, yes, there is somewhere to go. Because this time is actually quite beneficial because the draft usually happens after WrestleMania. And the draft will give us opportunities to have some fresh matches. So, on the first SmackDown, with all the new guys that came from Raw, we have sort of a battle royal or a match featuring Raw from older guys that came from Raw, and to put SmackDown over still as the land of opportunity and a place for wrestlers to want to go. And the winner of that battle royal or that number one contender match is Randy Orton. Randy Orton, again, is another guy who you can play that thing that he knows someone who wants to kick your ass more than he wants to kick your ass. Money in the Bank, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Again, The Fiend attacks Randy Orton during SmackDown a few weeks before Money in the Bank. But at Money in the Bank, who does come out is Bray Wyatt, the person. He comes down, he wrestles, good match, couple of near falls with an RKO. Let's start making Bray Wyatt a big star, a tough guy. He kicks out of 2 RKOs, or maybe he gets his foot on the ropes on the first one, and everyone's like, oh, we had him there, and then boom, RKO, he's done, he's gonna lose. He kicks out, he rolls his shoulder, maybe was that instinct or something? We don't know. Bray Wyatt is showing life, he kicks out. We're starting to turn him babyface. Slowly. He's still a heel. Slowly. Ultimately, Sister Abigail, or Mandible Claw, or something. Bray Wyatt beats Randy Orton. He retains the Universal Championship, and he moves on with his life. Now, after Money in the Bank, usually around this time, we have, yes, a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. It happens. The Fiend is gonna have to appear there, or else, you know, the Prince is gonna get real mad with Vince. So, the Fiend is there, and he's gonna face none other than special hometown guy, Mansoor. That's right, Mansoor is gonna get a shot at the Universal Championship in front of his hometown. Maybe he can do it. Maybe he's the one who's gonna end the Fiend. Maybe he's gonna be the first one to beat Bray Wyatt / the Fiend for the first time. He's not. He comes out of the match, gets a few moves here and there to pop up the crowd. Mandible Claw. Let's give Mansoor some moves, some things to put him over in his hometown. But ultimately, Mandible Claw. Let's give the Fiend some heat in Saudi Arabia too, because the last show in Saudi Arabia, they were actually cheering for the heels, and that was really weird. So there are a lot of non-casuals in Saudi Arabia. So let's go for the cheap heat route. We have the hometown hero loved by everyone. Everyone wants Mansoor to win at that point. He's the only Saudi Arabian in WWE, so he loses quickly. In like 3 or 4 minutes. Let's not make Bray Wyatt sell a lot for Mansoor. At the next pay-per-view, maybe let's have Mansoor again wrestle, or someone, you know. someone good like Ricochet. Like, let's give someone a new opportunity. Ricochet, Mansoor, I don't know, AJ Styles, someone. Doesn't really matter at this point. Extreme Rules, Bray Wyatt wrestles. Maybe AJ Styles, why not? Bray Wyatt wrestles, Bray Wyatt wins. On the next SmackDown, we have Bray Wyatt, or the Fiend, come out. He tries to attack the person he wrestled at Extreme Rules, but this time, Kofi Kingston comes down running. He makes his return from injury. Kofi Kingston comes down. He gets some shots in on the Fiend. The Fiend starts dominating him. Actually, let's not make it the Fiend here. Let's have Bray Wyatt do this segment because we don't want to make the Fiend bail out of the ring. So, Bray Wyatt is attacking his opponent at Extreme Rules. Ricochet, may that be. And Kofi Kingston comes down. But Bray Wyatt still gets the better of Kofi. And then Xavier runs down. And still, somehow, Bray Wyatt bumps one of them outside of the ring and he beats up. He hits a finisher on one, goes down, and he's still beating up the other. And finally, Big E runs down, and Big E makes the save for the New Day. Big E forces Bray Wyatt to bail out of the ring. The other New Day members join him, start beating up Bray. Bray says, "Nope, not today," and leaves the ring, looking at them and smiling, while he says he's gonna have some business for you. Oh crap. So, at SummerSlam, we give Kofi Kingston his big rematch. It's Kofi Kingston versus The Fiend. Bray Wyatt, we don't know who's it gonna be. And this time, Bray Wyatt is a little bit pissed off because for the first time in more than a year, someone forced Bray Wyatt to bail out of the ring. Little touches, but little touches that motivate the wrestlers and the characters. In this case, Bray Wyatt. So, at SummerSlam, it's The Fiend. We already had at Fastlane Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston. So this time we have Kofi Kingston versus The Fiend. Now, he's not joking. Obviously, Kofi Kingston gets a few offense here and there, but The Fiend gets a quite decisive win. Like, Trouble in Paradise doesn't sell, gets up. Is that all you got? Mandible Claw? Or, the Sister Abigail, Mandible Claw. He forces Kofi Kingston to submit, or Kofi Kingston passes out. And then he starts beating up on Kofi after the match happens, after the match took place. And all of a sudden, the New Day theme plays. Big E and Xavier run down. This time, on SmackDown, they made Bray Wyatt bail. Here, The Fiend bails. He actually runs. He doesn't run, but he leaves the ring slowly and crawls back or something weird. No, it's really weird to book a character like this, but somehow he bails out of the ring. He doesn't want, he knows, he's the Fiend, he's a monster, but he knows he's outnumbered, he's not stupid, he's not a character from a movie. Let's keep this somewhat real. It's a 3-on-1 advantage for the New Day. So the Fiend plays mind games, but still, he bails. So, we put the New Day over, and around this time, there is a special pay-per-view happening in the WWE. A special pay-per-view that, unfortunately, now it's more of a tradition than a special match for a special feud. But that's Hell in a Cell. And at Hell in a Cell matches were special back in the day. Now it's tradition, like I said. But this one is going to be special. The Fiend is going to be locked inside the Hell in a Cell with all 4 members of the New Day. The Fiend has something to prove. The Fiend bailed from the New Day at SummerSlam. What is he going to do at the Hell in a Cell? There is nowhere for the Fiend to bail. If the Fiend gets out of the ring, the New Day joins, they beat him up, and then it's between them. And then we can crown a new champion. So we tell that story. So, during the build-up to Hell in a Cell, the Fiend is at a at a disadvantage, so we don't want to make this too unreal because the Fiend is gonna win. So what we will do instead is the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, sorry, in the Firefly Funhouse, he plays mind games. He makes the New Day not fight before Hell in a Cell, but he forces it, he makes it like it's, it's gonna come down to one of you. You're gonna take him down, but then it's gonna be between you. What's it gonna be? What's gonna happen? Are you gonna lie down for Xavier? Kofi, are you gonna lie down for Big E? Xavier, you're the weakest one. You're the weak link. I'm telling you, you're the weak link. Is it gonna be you, or are you gonna lie down too? Let's add some mind games. And all of a sudden, Xavier kind of looks at Kofi and Big E like, no, I'm not the weak link. Actually, I'm gonna kick your butt. But they don't touch each other until Hell in a Cell. At Hell in a Cell, finally, the match happens, and the New Day, they start with the numbers advantage. They actually get some offense on the Fiend. The Fiend doesn't go down that much. He actually no-sells most of the stuff, but still, every time he gets up, it's 3-on-1. They beat him up. Finally, they take him out some way. He either takes that bump a la onto the cell, and he's knocked down, or he gets knocked out on purpose. So the Fiend gets knocked out on purpose so that the New Day think he's knocked out, and they fight with each other. Maybe. He's not hurt. He pretends he is, because he's smart. He's not only a creepy little thing that doesn't exist. He exists. He's a person. He's a monster. But he's a person, and he has intelligence, and he fakes an injury, or he fakes the selling of an attack by the New Day. So that forces the New Day to come into the ring. It's between them. Oh my god, the Fiend is out. It's between them, and the New Day fight. They fight over the title. They go at it. They beat each other up. They break each other's pins. We have looks. Big E tries to pin Xavier, but Kofi breaks it up, and Big E gives him that look, because a Big E Kofi Kingston feud has been teased for years now. So we have that stare down, and they try to fight, but then Xavier breaks it, and then something happens. In the end, the Fiend gets up, he goes into the ring. After all three of the New Day destroyed each other, the Fiend gets up, he destroys Xavier, he destroys Big E, he destroys Kofi, gets them up. One finisher for you, one finisher for you, one finisher for you, and then another one for each and every one of them again. Boom, boom, boom. He destroys them. 1, 2, 3. Maybe he puts all three of them together. 1, 2, 3, and we have a symbolic finish. The New Day is done. Hell in a Cell for the New Day. Let's protect the gimmick. It's so easy. So, around this time, after Hell in a Cell, there is another Saudi Arabia show. We need to get that out of the way. So he's gonna face someone, some babyface, and again, it's gonna have to be the Fiend. I wouldn't have the Fiend appear, but it is what it is. So the Fiend comes down, he wrestles like a 2-minute match against someone. I really don't care. He comes out, he wrestles someone, and he wins. Mansoor again, why not? Let's give the kid another chance. Let's give him a finisher this time, and Bray kicks out, gets up, and boom, you're done. So Mansoor, Saudi Arabia is out of the way. That is not important at all. We are on the road to Survivor Series. And this time, he's going to face one very special opponent. That opponent could only be The Undertaker. And this time, on that night, is when we turn Bray Wyatt babyface. So, Hell in a Cell has gone. The New Day are no longer because of the Fiend, so the Fiend left his marks on the New Day. That is clear. However, the New Day left their marks on the Fiend / Bray Wyatt, because on a SmackDown, after during the build-up to SummerSlam or Fastlane or Hell in a Cell, maybe Hell in a Cell for the 4-way, the New Day cut a promo where they basically say the Fiend was created by Bray Wyatt because Bray Wyatt was a joke. Bray Wyatt was not able to win anything. Bray Wyatt was an absolute waste of time to the product. Bray Wyatt was he was ashamed of being his own self, and he had to create this thing that doesn't exist, this little special little crap in order to win matches. And he mentions The Undertaker again. He mentions Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31 was completely squashed by The Undertaker. He got a few moves, but The Undertaker, that was quite possibly The Undertaker's easiest win since he's been old. Well, let's not use these terms during the promo, but they cut a promo around that. And then they say The Fiend was able to win, but Bray Wyatt was a joke. So they turn it around, and this time they try to play mind games with Bray Wyatt. So again, Hell in a Cell has come, has gone, the New Day are done, but the New Day left their mark on Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is possessed. He is mentally, he's different. Because he knows, again, he hears someone speak or something, and or the commentators mention it during SmackDowns and pay-per-views, that the New Day were right. And all of a sudden, we have Bray Wyatt's first physical promo. He comes out, no music, no nothing, no entrance. Bray Wyatt walks to the ring, microphone in his hands. He's Bray Wyatt. He is a normal person. He's not the Fiend. He's not anybody. Comes down to the ring and he says, Undertaker, I am going to cut right to the chase with you. This number 30 is to play mind games with you. I was going to attack you before Survivor Series because I know this year, Survivor Series 2020, marks 30 years of your first match in the WWE. Survivor Series 1990, and you were going to appear. I'm not stupid. So I was going to attack you, but I've been motivated. I don't want cheap attacks. I don't want the Fiend. I don't want anything else. Just me and you. I want to make sure that Bray Wyatt, the person, can beat The Undertaker, the character. I want to make sure that Bray Wyatt, the person, is better, not better than Mark Calaway, because Mark Calaway is, let's not bring out American Badass or something. He wants to beat The Undertaker, the Thing, the special character. He wants to beat The Undertaker as himself. And all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt is at a disadvantage. For the first time in his career, he's not going to be the Fiend. He's actually not outnumbered, but The Undertaker is going to be a gimmick. He's going to be a special attraction, a special thing. And Bray Wyatt is just going to be Bray Wyatt, the wrestler, the person. So we tell that story, and Bray Wyatt, during the next couple of weeks, he cuts promos, he is like getting motivated, he actually is shown doing push-ups, or trying to train. He knows this is his moment to make sure to let everyone know that Bray Wyatt is not a joke, and Bray Wyatt does not need the Fiend. So at Survivor Series, they have a match. Again, Undertaker comes down as The Undertaker, special entrance. Bray Wyatt comes down, Universal Champion, this time for a year. So we've actually made the Universal Championship special. I'm really a fan of long title reigns, except when it's, Brock Lesnar. Nothing against Brock Lesnar. He's a great wrestler, but to book him as a champion for a year is not the best choice. But this is not about Brock Lesnar. So we have Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker, Survivor Series. Let's tell the story that Bray Wyatt is turning babyface here. The Undertaker dominates. Bray Wyatt tries to hit something. Undertaker, does his look and goes right into the punches and punch, and Undertaker's in control. And then Bray Wyatt all of a sudden counters and hits a few moves, and he actually hits a Uranagi or something. But again, The Undertaker zombie sit up. Undertaker gets up, sits up, and Bray Wyatt is like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? Am I able? Bray Wyatt uses his facials. He tells the story. And Undertaker, all of a sudden, chokeslam. 1, 2, easy. Bray kicks out. Everyone's like, okay. Then, tombstone. He goes down. 1, 2. Bray Wyatt kicks out. They continue the match. This time, Undertaker, the match, let's actually tell the story. The match is going a bit long, and Undertaker is not at the best physical stage of his career or his life. Come on, let's make this real. So the match is getting longer. Bray Wyatt is younger. So Bray Wyatt actually starts getting in control. Bray Wyatt gets a tombstone. Gets a Sister Abigail. 1, 2. Undertaker still kicks out. He's still in it. Now Bray Wyatt wants he wants to get him up. He wants to go for the tombstone. We go to a tombstone reversal sequence. So Bray tries a tombstone. Undertaker reverses into his own tombstone. Bray reverses back into his own. But again, Undertaker reverses back. Boom. Third tombstone piledriver. We have Bray Wyatt kick out of 2. This is the third. Undertaker, he's won the match. There's no chance. 1, 2, 3. But Bray Wyatt, just before the ref hits 3, on instinct, pure instinct, Bray, his eyes are rolled to the back of his head. Undertaker pins him, does his with the tongue out and all that stuff. Bray Wyatt just gets his shoulder off the mat and he kicks out. And Undertaker, at this point, he gets the straps down, something like that. He's like, what the hell am I going to do to this guy? This guy's tough. We're presenting Bray Wyatt as a tough guy. Never say die attitude. We're turning him babyface. At this point, the crowd are going to be like, damn it, this guy's tough as balls. So Undertaker tries something. The match is getting longer and longer. Again, Undertaker just doesn't have it anymore. We tell that story as well. So Bray Wyatt eventually, one last pure act of instinct, of killer instinct. He stays in it. Undertaker tries a last ride. He really goes deep into his arsenal. Bray gets out of it. Tombstone. Again. Sister Abigail. He tries a mandible claw. Undertaker tries to turn that into a chokeslam. Bray Wyatt reverses, so he lands on his feet, gets him again, goes into the Sister Abigail. Undertaker goes down. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt, not only did he survive, maybe do another finish, but something like this. Bray Wyatt survived The Undertaker. Not The Fiend. Bray Wyatt beat The Undertaker. And then The Undertaker gets up. He looks at Bray Wyatt, a la Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy in 2002. Quite like the same thing he did with Jeff Hardy. Undertaker, he's not... Bray Wyatt is having trouble getting up. Bray Wyatt won, but he's in a worse condition than The Undertaker. So Undertaker gets up. He sells, obviously. He doesn't pull an Austin Aries and get up and leave or something like that. He sells, but he gets up before Bray does. He gets him up. He looks at him. He raises his arm. Undertaker leaves Bray Wyatt in the ring. He gives him the ring. He leaves the arena. And just like this, 30 years after The Undertaker wrestled his first match in the WWF back then, 30 years later, Survivor Series 2020, The Undertaker wrestles his last match in the WWE against Bray Wyatt, and Undertaker loses and creates a star on his way out. How he would lose the title later, we don't know. The Bray Wyatt is now a babyface. We're gonna leave the Fiend out. No more Firefly Funhouses. That can be saved for later when Bray Wyatt turns heel. That could stay away for a few years even, and then we have it back. But now Bray Wyatt is gonna have to lose to someone who was quite like the Fiend, who thinks he's special, and he's gonna be a heel. So that person is gonna be Aleister Black. WrestleMania, maybe we do Bray Wyatt versus Aleister Black. Aleister Black becomes the Universal Champion. But the big point here, and Aleister Black finally ends the reign, very long reign, of Bray Wyatt as Universal Champion. So that would really put him over as a star. No one has beaten Bray Wyatt since he was a part of the freaking... What was the name of the tag team with Matt Hardy? Since he was a part of that, with the Deleters of World. That's it. That's Bray Wyatt's first loss since that time. This is special, and Aleister Black benefits from it. But the real important thing is, we use the Fiend for a year to undo all the crap we did with Bray Wyatt for years. And Bray Wyatt is a star, hopefully, for good this time. And we don't waste him. So this is how I would book the Fiend and Bray Wyatt, and turn the Fiend into a big attraction, and ultimately turning Bray Wyatt into a big star, and not the Fiend. So this is how I would do it. Let me know in the comment section down below how good or how crappy I did, and what you would change, what you think is perfect, nailed it, what you think it's like, wouldn't do that. You know, ignore the Mansoor things and all that. That's really just filler that I used because he has to appear in Saudi Arabia. So don't make a big deal of Mansoor and the Saudi Arabia shows. But this is mostly how I would do it. Let me know what you would do differently. Let me know what you agree. Let me know basically what you think of this. So big thanks for those of you who spent all this time watching this video. I hope it was worth the wait. I hope you liked the storyline. If you didn't like the ending, because it is controversial, The Undertaker retiring is a very controversial topic. So if you don't like the ending, hopefully you liked the way I got to the ending, and maybe you didn't like the way I got to the ending and you liked the ending. So I expect some of you to be on some, to be those two different cases. And again, that's really it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending all this time with me. I really appreciate you guys for doing this. Subscribe to my second channel. Please leave a like. Again, comment, subscribe. I'm repeating myself, but who cares? I've been here long enough already, so 20 more seconds aren't that big of a deal. So, guys, really, thank you for watching. This is a long-ass video. Not gonna take any more time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Let me know if you want more of these. Let me know if you want me to review matches on my channel. I usually do it in the community. What about a video? Let me know. I'd like to know that stuff. And I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully I use this channel more. Guys, I've taken too much of your time already. I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna shut up, I swear. Bye.